Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be doing the beauty brand tag. I saw this on Mel Thompson and she then told me who invented this tag. I forget her name, but I'll put her name in the description box down below. But I thought this tag was really cool because I actually had, well, as I was listening to some of the questions, I actually was coming up with answers in my head from my own personal experience. So I was like, this is a cool video to do and I wanted to do it, so I'm going to do it. I have my little friend here. So far he's behaving. If I seem a little stiff, it's because I'm not moving that much because I don't want him to... He's trying to nap. I mean, the most awkward place to nap is on me while I'm trying to film a video, but I'm going to try to accommodate him because I don't want him to squawk and be annoying. So I have a lot of the answers written down because some of the answers I had to, think about it. So if you see me looking down or my answers sound rehearsed, it's just because I'm reading. I'm going to, they're points, so I'm just going to go off whatever I'm reading. But let's just get started with the first question. Think back to when you first started your makeup collection. Are there any brands you used then that you still use today? And instantly I thought of CoverGirl and MAC. I still have CoverGirl mascaras that I'm using. To this day I'm still buying them. And MAC, I still use MAC like pretty much every single day. I have MAC brushes. I still go back for MAC concealers, MAC powders. Their blushes are like a staple in my collection. They've always MAC lipsticks. Oh my gosh, how could I forget? I have such a huge collection of MAC lipsticks. So CoverGirl and MAC. I believe that's it. Because I used to use Wet n Wild, but I definitely don't use so much of that anymore except for the Wet n Wild foundation. Drugstore brands are coming with some better things these days, so I might start venturing back into the drugstore realm. But for the next question, so this number 2 is a follow-up. Which brands have you moved on from? I'd say pretty much, does Wet n Wild count, considering it's just the only thing from Wet n Wild that I use today is their foundation. So I've kind of moved on from Wet n Wild. I don't really buy anything from Revlon. Now, does this question mean from when you first started, or just things that you haven't used since you started wearing makeup over the years? Because other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I've started and then moved on from. There's no brands that I've cut out because of drama or whatever. I don't really care. So yeah, I'm gonna say, I guess, Wet n Wild I've moved on from, because that's the only product that I can remember consistently using. I remember buying their white eyeliner and heating it up with a blow dryer and using that as an eyeliner, a base for eyeshadows to go over top to lighten it. I remember that vividly. Also, I remember wearing white eyeliner just on my upper lash line. Oh, what a horrible look, but back then I thought it was awesome. Crazy how makeup trends have changed. Okay, so number 3 is, are there any brands you thought were so expensive that you'd never buy anything from them, but now consider at least one of their products to be holy grail? If so, which brands and which products? So the first thing that came to my mind when I heard this question was Natasha Denona. I remember looking at her eyeshadow palettes thinking, oh my gosh, I can't afford that, blah, 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 blah. Basically, her palettes are a staple in my collection. Her, this palette here, I use it almost every single day. I also use the Bloom blush palette, at least twice a week. And her eyeshadows, are pretty much used also consistently in my collection, along with other, in conjunction with other things, because I don't often make one look with one palette. I use multiple palettes. Anyways, I just need a sip of wine. Sorry, my throat is dry. Okay. What else? Other makeup products I thought were just out of my price range I haven't touched, like Tom Ford. I would like to try one of his products from one of his lines, but honestly, I just don't feel that anything I would try would be worth it and blow my mind for the price tag. I've tried higher end stuff, and from Guerlain? I've tried stuff from Giorgio Armani, and I just don't feel that you have to spend that much money to get good quality makeup. But Natasha Denona, I never thought I could afford her, and she has made her way well into my product lineup. Okay, next question. What is a popular brand that you've never tried and don't think you ever will, and why? I feel like my answer may be a little controversial, but I mean, I don't really buy into anything Kardashian or into the Kylie stuff. I just think it's subpar makeup with her name slapped on it, and honestly, it's kind of boring. Like, if I want a neutral palette, there are plenty of other neutral palettes that are accessible. Second of all, it's online only. Like, you can't buy it in Sephora, I don't believe. I don't think so. I think that's pretty much accurate there. So I'm not going to go online and pay for, like, I live in Canada, so shipping is an issue when I want to buy certain products online. I have to consider that, and also the exchange rate. So something that's, say, $10 American is going to be probably $15 to $20 Canadian. No thank you. It's not worth it to me. Another thing, Jeffree Star. I'm not a fan of his whatsoever, even though I hear his eyeshadows and his liquid lipsticks are amazing. Sorry, not interested. Also, a lot of things I can't get through Sephora I don't really want to buy. I've tried Makeup Geek because their shipping is pretty well, I think it's $6.99 to Canada, so I can deal with that. I'll just, you know, wait till I have a big enough order where it's worth it to spend $6.99 on shipping. So that's my answer for that question. Number 5. What brand perfectly encapsulates your current makeup aesthetic? Explain. I think now it's Natasha Denona, just because the way she does her eye looks is kind of similar to how I do, in her aesthetic and stuff like that, and a lot of her makeup style is what I like. Over the years before, when I first started wearing makeup, I would have said Urban Decay, the way they branded themselves and the things they came out with, you know, the electric palette, and not necessarily the naked palettes, because again, I'm not really a neutral girl. But yeah, I'm just gonna say Natasha Denona. I can't really, nothing else has like jumped in my head for what brand encapsulates my makeup style. Was that the question? Encapsulates your current makeup aesthetic. Yeah, I'm gonna say Natasha Denona. Nude lips, bold eyes. If it's not bold eyes, it's like shimmery skin, glowing skin. I love that look. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Natasha Denona. Excuse me. Okay, number 6. Are there any brands you haven't wanted to try purely because you don't like their packaging? I don't think so. However, Clinique sometimes makes me feel like their products could be good, but their packaging is just so boring and old lady-like. Excuse the term old lady-like, but like, it just, I don't know, they don't appeal to me. And what's that other brand? I don't know. There's not really, are there any brands you haven't wanted to try purely based because you don't like their packaging? I wouldn't say anything has necessarily deterred me away, because if the packaging calls to me, if the product calls to me, if I like the color, the packaging won't deter me away from buying the product if the product is what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. I don't always care about packaging. I care about what's inside, so I'll deal with ugly packaging or bulky packaging or this or that if what's inside is what I'm looking for, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what I'm buying, even though your money does go towards packaging. For me, packaging is not make or break. And the next question is kind of like a follow-up to that as well. Is there a brand you've only tried because their packaging lured you in? If so, were you happy with the actual product? So this question is perfect timing, because 2 weeks ago, I bought a product purely based on the packaging, and it is pretty vulgar. Now, I am a massive, massive bird lover, and their stuff was on sale, and I saw that they had birds on their packaging. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I need to buy something now. So I went on, and a lot of their stuff was sold out, so I ended up buying this mascara purely based on the packaging. Like, it has birds on it and feathers. Like, if this doesn't scream my name, I don't know what does. So yeah, I bought this purely based on the packaging. Is the mascara any good? When I first tried it, I was like, this is crap. I don't like it. But whatever, I have it for the packaging. That's what I bought it there for. It's going to sit on my desk and I'm going to look at it and it's going to make me smile. However, after the mascara dried out a little bit, I do like it more. I'm going to use it as a base underneath of my other mascara that I use to kind of like add and build volume. So, no, the product wasn't worth it inside. Would I buy it again? For the packaging? Absolutely. I'm a bird lover through and through. I want to buy more of their stuff actually, just based on the packaging. But I do want the stuff to work, the product to work. So, that's that. By the way, I'm trying a new wine. So good. Okay, next question. Some would say drugstore and mid-range prices are starting to overlap. What drugstore beauty brands are guilty of making this happen, and what are your thoughts on rising drugstore makeup prices? Okay, so here's my thoughts on this. So in Canada, drugstore prices have always been a lot, and I don't feel like the product quality is worth the price at the drugstore. Not only that, here in Canada, if you buy something from the drugstore, you can't return it. So if you don't like it, if you buy a foundation shade and it's too orange, if it's too light, if it's too dark, you're stuck with it. And a lot of times here in Canada, for a lot of like say Revlon, Maybelline's not so bad, but Revlon, there was another one, a couple other ones. I can't think of them right now, but Revlon is the first one to jump to my head because they're what was it? Color Stay. The Revlon Color Stay foundation was like $20. 15. Yeah, it was like $18.99, $19.99. It was like $22 in some places in some drugstores, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, I'd rather just go to Sephora, spend an extra $10, get shade matched, get a sample to make sure I do like it, and then buy it and be happy with it. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to spend $20 plus with tax and everything like that when it's not even on sale for a product that I'm not gonna like. Like, that's why I kind of stopped buying drugstore makeup, because to me their prices have always been more or less outrageous. Like some things like blush and like lip liners, sure. NYX is the other one that's kind of pricey here in Canada. So I haven't had the best experience with drugstore when I was getting into makeup and experimenting with it. So there was one point in time where I basically swore off all drugstore makeup. The only thing that I bought was like the tried and true things that I love, like certain mascaras. I'll buy a couple of drugstore mascaras because 2 mascaras would still equal less than the price of 1 full one from Sephora. So that's the only basic exception to that, as well as lip liners. I do like NYX's lip liners. But a lot of drugstore lipstick too, like, you can't test lipstick in a store, but a lot of the lipsticks have a funky scent to it, and I'm just like, I'm a scent person, and if the product doesn't smell good, like, what was it, Maybelline lipsticks it has a weird scent to it, and I just kind of stayed away from it just because I didn't like the scent. Probably why I'm so drawn to MAC lipsticks, because I love the scent of MAC lipsticks. Also with lip glosses you can't try, so you get it, you cut it home, you don't really know what the color looks like, and then like I prefer a more stickier lip gloss base, so a lot of the times I've tried a lip gloss from the drugstore and it's kind of like got on my lips and like slid everywhere. I'm just like, I just wasted $6.99, $10 on a lip gloss that like I can't even use because I hate the product. So I kind of swore off drugstore for the longest time for that reason. When you buy it, you can't return it, and you also can't test it, so I'm like, what is the point? I'd rather just spend a little more money, make sure I love something, make sure I can test it. Oh, he's getting in on this rant with me. But yeah, so the whole rising drugstore product prices, I feel like in Canada have always been high, so I don't really pay attention to it because I don't really buy it. I would like to start, but if they would bring testers out so I can test it, I'd be all in. All in. Also, if they could offer samples, but I feel like that wouldn't happen because they're just not run like Sephora is. Okay, next question. I'm going off on a tangent here, and I don't want this video to be super long. Number 9. With anti-consumerism and an eat the rich mentality starting to take hold in the YouTube beauty space, are there any brands you still feel loyalty towards? If so, why? So, I keep having to read this question multiple times because I don't know if I don't understand it or the way it's worded, but I get the anti-consumerism, but the eat the rich, I'm not really too sure what that means. Are there any brands you still feel loyalty towards? So I don't really feel loyalty towards any brand. I don't feel obligated to buy anything. If I like it, I buy it. If I don't, I won't. Like I said, maybe I don't understand the question really, but I don't feel obligated, or I don't feel that I need to have loyalty to one specific brand. Not one specific brand will always put out products that one person, like, okay, for example, I really do like Natasha Denona brand, but I did buy the tan palette, didn't love it, returned it. One sec, I just need some water. See, there's even birds on my water bottle. I'm bird obsessed. Anti-consumerism. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to stick with that answer. No, I don't feel loyalty to anyone. If I like it, I'm going to buy it. If I don't, I'm not gonna. If a brand comes out with something and I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it. I don't feel like I have to. I guess that's what that means. I'm not really too sure. If someone can explain that to me in the comments below, that would be lovely. But if not, oh well, life moves on. Life moves on. Life goes on. Okay, number 10. Have you ever felt betrayed by a brand? If so, what happened? I need to refer back to my answers for this because I don't think I can. Okay, so basically for this question, betrayed by a brand. In my own experience with this, the only thing I hate when brands do, if this even falls in the same category as this question, is I hate when brands come out with a product and then they change the formula and it's no longer good. Like, it was your favorite product. Like, does that work for this question? Is that the betrayed by a brand? Yeah, I guess that, yeah, because if you're changing the, like, if you have, like, your, like, formula that you love, and they go and change it, and then you have to find something else because it no longer works for you, that sucks, and I hate it when brands do that. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Which also, that kind of brings me on to the whole Morphe, Jaclyn Hill, change of formula thing that's been going around. I watched Jen Love's reviews, and I thought that was really horrible and really shady, and I feel like Morphe has probably betrayed many customers by doing that. So I feel like if you were a Morphe fan, that could be felt as brand betrayal. Number 11. Are there any brands you feel give off exclusivity vibes, making you feel like you aren't cool, rich, or pretty enough to buy from? If so, which brands and why? No. I do not feel like any brand is giving off any vibe that you have to be of a certain status to buy it, or you have to be a certain, no. If you have to look a certain, no. No, I do not at all. Number 12. What's worse? Choice fatigue, exhaustion from too many makeup releases, or a lackluster quarterly launch from a brand you're typically excited about. See, for this, I feel like I have a different perspective of it based on the other two videos I've watched. Solely because if a brand comes out with something and I don't like it, I feel relieved that I don't want to buy it. So I save money. If a brand comes out with something that's super interesting and I want to buy it and I can't afford it, I then feel let down and sad that I can't buy it, or I try to like script on other things so I can't afford it so I can buy it. So lackluster launch might disappoint me, but it would save me money that I can't buy it because I'm not interested in it. Where are you going, dude? Product overload is happening right now, and it's also easy for me to just, you know, skim through the Trending page and just be like, nah. So I mean, both of those kind of, I wouldn't care. I can't pick one because either way. But if you're excited about say Natasha Denona, like, I'm excited for her next release because I typically like her products. But if she released something and it wasn't, like, yeah, I get disappointed. But then again, I'm like, oh, okay, that's okay, I save money. So I'm just going to say lackluster quarterly launch from brands you're typically excited about. I'm going to go with that one. 13. Have brand trips or sponsored videos ever made you actually interested in a product / beauty launch that the brand was promoting? No. Actually, it would turn me off. I'm not interested in that at all. I wrote some notes on this. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, no. I just don't see how a brand trip taking, I mean, good for the influencers, However, on the other side of that, like, they could be using that money towards other things. But having an influencer laying on a beach, you know, applying a lipstick doesn't make me want to buy it more than, say, a commercial. I don't know. No, it's never ever made me want to buy a product. No. Number 14. Are there any indie brands you hope to see sold at Ulta or Sephora in the future? So I don't have an Ulta. I live in Canada. So I'm going to take this question as, is there any indie brands you'd like to see in Sephora? And yeah, pretty much all the things you can't get in store but are online only. For example, I've heard a lot of things about these Sydney Gray shadows, but I'm not going to buy them because it's expensive for me to order from Canada. If I was really desperate and really, I wouldn't even use the word desperate, but if I really wanted to, I would, but I just don't see the point. But if they did come to Sephora, then I would definitely purchase them there. I don't know if Makeup Geek is considered indie, but if they ever came to Sephora, that would be awesome because it would save me having to order online. And I feel like things that you can see in store, you're more likely to buy because you can like swatch the shadows. Stuff that are online, you can't really see all that well. As good as they do swatches, everything online always looks different in person. I find brands don't really put enough care into like swatches online. They always just look, you know, you see the product online, they can describe something to you, but a peachy pink to someone could be a different peachy pink to someone else. Like, I don't know. I would prefer to see more smaller brands, smaller makeup brands in store, in Sephora. Whether that'll happen, who knows. Didn't they try with ColourPop, or what was it? Was it ColourPop? Didn't they try it with ColourPop? I was really excited for that. It was only like 1 or 2 items. It wasn't like the whole selection. Like, that was just really annoying. It's like, if you're going to give it to us, give it to us. Like, go all in. Offer us everything. Don't just pick and choose certain products here and there. Give it to us all. And number 15, if you could give any beauty brand a rebranding, which brand would it be and what elements of the brand would you modify? So I think this is the last question. And there are 3 brands that I think need a makeover. The first one's Clinique. Like I said earlier, it's like old lady packaging. I believe they've had the same packaging since I was a teenager just getting into makeup, when I was like late teens, probably 18, 19, early 20s. They've looked the same ever since. They need a rebranding. I feel like they could do so. I mean, I don't know how they're doing now, but they could be doing so much better. Sometimes I see a product that they have and I'm just not into it because the packaging is just boring. I'm just like, no, like, make me want to buy it. Maybe their advertising or the crowd they're catering to is not for me, which is apparent. But anyways, Clinique needs a makeover. They're boring. Benefit also, their cardboard, I don't have anything handy, but their cardboard box blushes and bronzers, I feel like that needs to change. It needs a makeover. They've had the same packaging also for like many, many years. And Bobbi Brown, like, they're simple, which is cool. I don't mind simple. But again, they've had like, it's just lackluster and doesn't entice me to buy their stuff. Boring. So that does it for all of the questions. There's 15. I answered 15 questions. My throat is dry. I'm not used to talking this much. I need to go finish my wine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This tag was really fun to do. I enjoyed answering the questions. I did this makeup look. It'll be up after this video, I believe, or the one after that. We'll see. I have to figure out my uploading schedule. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back in a couple days with my next video. Bye!